Everybody, it's great to be with you all today, and I'm really excited to tell you about our fantastic English Mastery program. So, here's the agenda. I hope that by the end of today's session, you'll have a deeper understanding of what the program is, also how it can benefit your school, and you'll know how you can find out more if you want to. So ARC Curriculum Plus was set up by ARC Schools Multi Academy Trust to improve subject outcomes, initially just within the ARC Schools network. But we've been going for over a decade now, and we've worked with over 1,000 schools, and we have subject excellence programs in English, maths, science, geography and history at both primary and secondary. And we've been able to show measurable impact in evaluations by the EEF, by the FFT and by the Brilliant Club as well. And we have subject experts for each school to support them through our 5-step improvement process, which I'll talk you through later. So all of our schools get an ambitious curriculum, as well as all of the CPD, teaching and assessment resources that they need to empower teachers and achieve subject excellence. The English Mastery Primary Programme is the newest programme of the ARC Curriculum Plus family, and it launched nationally just last academic year. Prior to launch, it was in an extensive pilot phase for 4 years, and it was tried and tested during that time with over 20,000 Key Stage 2 pupils, both within ARC schools and non-ARC schools. And currently, at the moment, we're working with nearly 100 primary schools across the country. English Mastery is a complete reading, writing and grammar programme for Key Stage 2, and it's connected by a reading spine of incredible books. And just like Mathematics Mastery, which many of you might be familiar with, all of the components of English Mastery work together to ensure that your school, your teachers, your pupils get real impact from the evidence-led Subject Excellence programme. Many of our schools use both Maths Mastery and English Mastery alongside each other, and they find that the familiar structure across subjects is really beneficial for both teachers and for pupils. And so we might be the newest of the ARC Curriculum Plus family, but we're also having great impact, and we're really proud of the impact that the programme has had so far. So here's some of the feedback from some of our partner schools, which I'll give you a second to read. So ARC Schools Multi Academy Trust has a diverse number of schools from across the country. We have city schools, rural schools, those in coastal areas. ARC has twice as many pupils eligible for free school meals compared to the national average. And English Mastery supports all pupils to achieve in English. Last year, 78% of our Year 6 children achieved the expected standard in reading, writing and maths combined, which was 16 percentage points higher than the national average of 62%. Children eligible for pupil premium did particularly well. 71% will be leaving an ARC primary school having met the expected standard in maths and English, compared to just 45% nationally last year. And in addition, 42% of ARC pupils with special educational needs and disabilities passed the combined double the national average of 21% for SEND last year. And our reading and writing results are much higher than the national averages too. And this success comes from the fact that we continually learn and co-create together with our partner schools. We're constantly testing what really works live in the classroom to make improvements that will have the biggest positive impact. For these ARC primaries who've co-created and faithfully used the English Mastery programme within their own unique individual school contexts, they're one of the highest performing primary maths tests in the UK for SATS outcomes, and we're really proud to have supported them in that journey. And it's not just about the Key Stage 2 results that show what we do works. Our feedback from our schools in our annual surveys is also extremely encouraging. So, what exactly is the English Mastery Programme? Well, it was developed with the aim to improve the literacy outcomes of all pupils, whilst also ensuring that rich and engaging children's literature underpins all learning. The English Mastery curriculum is centred around quality children's books, and we read whole, authentic books, not text extracts. The reading spine forms the basis of our carefully sequenced, rigorous, knowledge-rich curriculum. Our purpose is to ensure that every child experiences high-quality English learning while equipping teachers with the knowledge and resources that they need to nurture confident, happy and enthusiastic readers, writers and speakers. As you can imagine, deciding on our reading spine of just 5 or 6 texts for each year group was a huge challenge. You can see our literature spine there on the screen. We took a number of different factors into account, such as linguistic challenge, narrative engagement, an appropriate level of fluency, vocabulary, themes and structure, which increase in complexity over time. We wanted to highlight a diverse range of voices, and we also worked with our secondary colleagues to ensure that the texts provide a suitable foundation and progression to more challenging texts used at Key Stage 3 and Key Stage 4. Each year group's library has an overarching theme so that pupils can connect the texts across the year to reinforce and deepen their understanding. The texts also link to our humanities subjects taught within our history and geography programmes where appropriate, as we know that background knowledge is a significant advantage to reading comprehension. So we suggest in Year 5 studying the Vikings in history, whilst also reading Riddle of the Runes in reading lessons, for example. So English Mastery is a complete Key Stage 2 English programme which covers reading, writing and grammar, all centred around that quality children's literature. The programme is built on 3 strands, 3 lessons per day, one 40-minute reading lesson, a 40-minute writing lesson, and also a 10-minute grammar lesson to ensure that pupils have enough deliberate practice, opportunities to develop automaticity in the grammatical knowledge and skills that they need to become fluent writers. This grammar knowledge is used and applied in the writing lessons, so it's all linked and it's all purposeful. And fluency, vocabulary and oracy are embedded throughout all lessons. And here's a quote from one of our English leads. The programme does weave the 3 lessons together to ensure coherence and application. The reading lessons are based around the core text. The writing lessons are also based around the core text. The rich and challenging literature sits at the very heart of the programme and joins it all up so that pupils receive a really coherent offer. We also work hard to anticipate memory demands to make sure that our pupils have the necessary background knowledge and vocabulary to truly understand a text. So pupils also study supplementary, specially selected texts alongside the core book. So they get valuable additional background knowledge and vocabulary that they need to strengthen their comprehension. Another way we anticipate memory demands is in pupils' written outcomes. In the programme, pupils are encouraged to write for a variety of purposes and audiences. Here are the intended written outcomes in Year 5. The written outcomes link to the core texts. So pupils have all the knowledge and vocabulary that they need to write. They're not struggling to think of something to write about. They always have plenty of content and they know that content really, really well. And then at the end of the year, pupils write an analytical essay, revisiting and comparing the core books that they've read across the course of the year. The essay question in Year 5, for example, is, of all the books studied this year, in your opinion, which had the most villainous villain? Analytical writing helps pupils to make links between texts, deepen their understanding, and develop their reading schema, ultimately preparing them for more complex texts in the future. The carefully considered cohesion across year groups enables pupils to easily connect ideas over time, as they will have an arsenal of vocabulary and examples in long-term memory to draw upon. Because we want pupils to truly master content rather than just moving through it. The programme prioritises fluency in Key Stage 2. If pupils struggle with fluency in reading, they'll struggle with comprehension. If pupils struggle with fluency in writing, they'll struggle with composition. In reading, fluency serves as a bridge between word recognition and comprehension. Because fluent readers are able to identify words accurately and automatically, their cognitive load is decreased and they can focus most of their attention on interpreting what they're reading. They can make connections among the ideas in the text and between the text and their background knowledge. In other words, fluent readers can recognize words and comprehend at the same time. In writing, fluency serves as a bridge between word generation and composition. Because fluent writers are able to form words and sentences accurately and automatically, they can focus most of their attention on expressing meaning. Fluent writers can form words and sentences and express meaning at the same time. So we prioritise fluency in Key Stage 2. We want our pupils to speak fluently, read fluently, write fluently. Fluency reduces cognitive load. We know that when learning is hampered, when memory capacity is exceeded. And given the limitations of working memory, it's understandable that pupils struggle to comprehend if they're not fluent readers, and that they struggle to write confidently and are prone to making basic errors if they're not fluent writers. But once something is known to automaticity, it takes up very little room in working memory. It becomes habitual. This frees up the brain to engage in more complex forms of thinking. Automaticity is a gateway to being able to think critically. It's therefore imperative that all learners, and in particular learners with smaller working memories, are given the practice time needed to acquire fluency. It's essential for some, but it's helpful for all. So our programme is called English Mastery because we want pupils to achieve mastery in primary English, and they can do this by becoming fluent readers and writers, and that's why we prioritise fluency. So let's move on to what the programme actually looks like in practice. So these mastery principles are woven into the programme. We refer to all of our mastery programmes as subject excellence programmes. English Mastery is based upon our framework for success. To achieve powerful teaching that truly changes lives, we know that teachers need to have strong subject knowledge, the best evidence-based pedagogies, rigorous assessment, and effective planning, all working together. Our English Mastery Primary programme is designed to deliver immediate impact and sustained subject improvement through our 5 steps of plan, train, teach, embed, and sustain. So how do those 5 steps work? Well, let's break each step down. Firstly, step 1, plan. When you first join English Mastery, you'll receive a structured diagnostic call, and your subject expert will help you to prepare an improvement plan to identify your particular areas of focus to achieve the greatest impact with all of your teachers and your pupils. Second step is train. Then you'll have access to our face-to-face induction training and cutting-edge online training for both your English lead and your teachers, which gets everyone engaged and immediately builds both leader and teacher confidence. Then step 3 is teach. Our curriculum integrated subject-specific CPD, planning, teaching resources and assessments repurpose teacher time into higher value activities. The best practice resources strengthen the quality of teaching and provide consistency across each school. After this, we move into step 4, embed. Once the foundations are set, we work with you to attain excellence in subject teaching. We provide in-school leadership and teacher coaching and offer support through school visits, joint learning walks, and an intensive program leadership course. Teachers access a program of subject pedagogy and on-demand videos. This approach ensures outstanding subject teaching in your school. And then finally, step 5, sustain. Longer term, we collaborate to build sustained impact. Induction and CPD will support new staff joining the school, and then regular teaching resources and CPD updates will keep your offerings current and informed. Baked-in assessments provide ongoing confidence, and you'll remain a part of a network of similar schools, staying up to date on new research together. So together we'll annually evaluate program success, maintaining maximum impact for your pupils. So this is what the process looks like over time, but what are the components within the program that help you achieve this success? Now I'm going to talk through the 5 different coloured strands, the components, starting with the red strand, which is school support and what you'll receive. So from day 1, you'll have a dedicated English Mastery primary subject expert from my team. They all are educators, we're all teachers, we all either have a background in or currently still teach and lead primary English within schools. And we'll help you to introduce, to implement, to embed and to sustain the programme over multiple years, ensuring a lasting positive impact on your pupils. So let's take a look at what that looks like. So after a thorough review, a diagnostic call with your subject experts help you to identify key focus areas for maximum impact. And we can build together a tailored improvement plan to achieve your goals consistently with all your teachers. Your subject expert will then regularly visit your school for joint learning walks with the Mastery Lead to observe programme delivery. You can also involve us in co-planning, or we can run customised CPD workshops whilst we're there in your school. Our regular one-to-one sessions offer coaching and mentoring for your English leads, and these are carefully designed to work for each stage of your implementation journey. And you can get in touch with us anytime, by phone, by email, whenever you need advice or have questions. No query is too small and no problem is too big. We are always here and happy to help. And all of our current English leads, our Mastery leads, agree that their Art Curriculum Plus subject expert have made implementation easier. So you're not in it alone. We're here to help you. So then if we look at the dark blue strand, which is all about CPD. So both teachers and leaders get tailored CPD at the point of need, so it's immediately actionable. So our CPD supports subject knowledge, pedagogic delivery, curriculum design, and so much more. And it's super flexible, so it's accessible online just when you need it, or through inspiring and practical in-person sessions that foster a community of practice. So let's have a run through what those are. So the first thing is the induction training, which I spoke about earlier. Teachers, English leads, SLT champions, everyone can attend in-person induction training. It's a really wonderful way to get your team excited and prepared for the journey of the programme, and also to set everybody up for success from the outset. All of our induction modules are also available online and on demand to revisit the key learning. Sustained and ongoing CPD is also available for your teachers and for your English lead. Firstly, through the Teaching Mastery course. So all of our teachers can enjoy online termly CPD that builds subject and pedagogical expertise. And for each completed online module, teachers gain a badge, which is a really great way to evidence their professional development as steps towards further qualifications like NPQs. And then alongside this course, we also have half-termly Preparing to Teach webinars, which are live online and support teachers in effective programme delivery for the upcoming term. So we'll go through the core book, the core themes, the characters, any sensitive issues teachers need to be aware of, and how to best intellectually prepare for the next term's text. It's a really great chance to share good practice and collaborate with other partner schools with teachers in the same year group. And then your English lead, or your mastery lead as we call them, receives termly online CPD as well through the programme leadership course and ongoing coaching and mentoring from their subject experts. They'll earn the Art Curriculum Plus certificate in programme leadership, providing recognition for both them and for your school. And for each unit of work, we have short unit tutorial videos to refresh subject knowledge and task modelling. And then we also have teaching in action videos of ARC teachers teaching components of the lessons, which exemplify what the strategies look like in action. These are all on our website, all easily accessible, bite-sized CPD for immediate implementation by your teachers. So that's the CPD, and then if we move into the next strand in dark green there, the assessments and data insights. So you'll have access to curriculum-linked formative and summative assessments. So let's find out more about them. So I've done this by the 3 different lessons, because the grammar, the writing and the reading lessons have slightly different assessments. So I'll go through them one by one. So firstly, for the grammar units, for the grammar lessons, we provide pre-unit quizzes to check pupils have the prerequisite knowledge to be successful in the upcoming unit, and also so that teachers can identify any gaps or any misconceptions before teaching that unit. And then at the end of each grammar unit, there's a post-unit quiz to check pupils have actually mastered and retained the new knowledge and skills they've been taught. And then we also have what we call a mastery right at the end of each grammar unit for pupils to apply grammatical knowledge and skills independently in independent writing when crafting sentences. Then in terms of assessment for the writing strand, we have exit tickets to check misconceptions and if pupils have understood the key knowledge and vocabulary at the end of each writing lesson. Then at the end of a writing unit, we have post-unit independent writing tasks, which give pupils opportunity to apply their knowledge and skills independently and creatively. We also have writing exemplar booklets to give teachers an idea of the outcome of each unit and what pupils who are working towards, working at, and working at greater depth might look like and achieve. And then if we look at the reading lessons, every reading lesson has built-in comprehension checks throughout, so you'll know lesson by lesson what the pupils do and don't understand. And then we have as well end of unit reading fluency assessments, which offer insights into pupils' accuracy, automaticity, and prosody in support of comprehension. A child's fluency score is just one piece of the puzzle, helping to inform whether pupils may need extra practice, extra decoding support, or vocabulary development. And then once pupils have read the whole book, we have end of unit book quizzes, which the pupils love, and they assess the pupils' understanding of the plot, of the characters, of the settings, the themes, once they've finished reading the whole text. And we also have vocabulary checks as well to assess pupils' understanding of the key words that they've been explicitly taught throughout the programme, and whether or not that knowledge has been retained over time. So that was the assessment strand, and now moving into the orange strand, which is all about our teaching and learning resources. So we provide everything that your school needs to deliver the programme successfully. And you can see there's a wealth of different resources included within the programme, and I'll talk through a few of these in more detail in a moment. You can also explore our programme preview after this session to find out more, but just to summarise before I dig into them, all of our resources are built on solid evidence-led pedagogical principles, which give you confidence that they will have the greatest positive impact on your pupils. All of our resources promote oracy in a flexible and fun way that works for pupils. The resources provide structure and support so that teachers can own their own curriculum with at-a-glance planning and adaptation guidance. And all the resources are created with varying mixes of experience in mind. So they're suitable for early career teachers, whilst also being suitable for more experienced teachers too, giving varying levels of guidance for each. And they are full of adaptation examples so that you can take ownership and adapt the resources to suit your pupils and your pupils' needs. So let's look in turn grammar, writing, reading, and all of the resources that are provided for each. So let's begin with grammar. Each grammar unit is designed to last for 3 weeks or 15 lessons, and each lesson is designed to last for 10 minutes. Each grammar unit includes a Fix-It, Reteach task, lesson 10, which involves revisiting a grammatical step from lessons 1 to 9 that the class might need a bit more practice on. At the end of the unit, there's an optional post-unit quiz, and also the mastery right for pupils to apply their grammatical knowledge and understanding when crafting sentences. There are 4 parts to a 10-minute grammar lesson. Each grammar lesson includes a Do Now retrieval task, which is designed to check understanding, an Introduce section to introduce the new learning, a deliberate practice exercise with all of the answers provided to support subject knowledge, and a learning review, usually in the form of a multiple choice question. As well as that, the grammar programme provides potential misconceptions along with the suggested teacher responses to each of those misconceptions, a fully editable and optional pupil workbook for you to print should you wish to, although lots of our schools don't, they just do the work in exercise books. And then also provide teaching overviews to show the learning journey and the pupil quizzes, which we explained earlier. So you can see for the grammar strand, a lot of teaching and learning resources are provided. Now let's check out the writing resources. So within a writing unit, there are 7 key stages. Each stage includes a combination of deliberate practice, modelled, shared, and independent writing, along with opportunities to edit and evaluate throughout. So we begin with immersing the children in the specific text that they'll be writing. The purpose of this is to inspire and engage the pupils and to ensure a really clear understanding of the purpose and the audience. Next, we move into the analyze phase. Within this phase, pupils explore model texts, explore what good examples look like and how they contribute, how all of those features contribute to the purpose. Then we move into the instruct stage, which includes explicit instruction, allowing pupils to master new learning of specific features through lots of opportunities for deliberate practice linked to the grammar strand. And then pupils plan, write, edit, and review their writing before publishing it. There are 12 lessons within a writing unit over a 3-week period. So you do have 3 spare lessons if you need to reteach something or revisit something, or if you want a bit longer for pupils to write. Teaching overviews are provided, which detail the unit intent, as well as the specific features for the written outcome and lots of examples of each. They also list the key knowledge, vocabulary, show, do outcomes, and assessment questions for each lesson too, so everything is really clear for the teacher. Individual writing lessons have the key knowledge identified at the beginning of each lesson, along with the key vocabulary and the definitions highlighted. And we have those shared definitions throughout the whole programme, throughout each year group. The do now retrieval tasks check knowledge has been retained from the previous lesson, and exit tickets check pupils have understood the new learning. We also provide lesson guides, including teacher notes with a step-by-step breakdown of each lesson element, as well as model text showing the intended written outcome to inspire pupils and for them to analyse the features. There are also annotated teacher versions of the model text, which highlight all of the examples of the grammatical features to support teacher subject knowledge. And then we'll look at the reading resources. So each reading unit is designed to last for 2 weeks, but it's only 9 lessons long. So again, there's a bit of space and flexibility to reteach something or spend longer on a lesson if required. So on the slide, you can see an example of the learning journey of a reading unit in Year 3. Each reading unit includes fiction, which is reading the core book that you saw in our literature spine, as well as reading supplementary texts, which are either non-fiction texts or poetry. Fluency, vocabulary, and comprehension are all focused on separately within different reading lessons. Teaching overviews highlight the learning outcomes for each lesson, the fluency read passages from the text that the pupils will be practicing, the speed words that pupils need to know, the vocabulary that's studied explicitly, using all of our reading signature strategies. There's also a text overview which outlines the themes, characters, structure, etc., all of those things within the book, as well as useful chapter summaries for the teacher. And then within all individual reading lessons, we have all of our reading lesson components, such as the do now retrieval tasks, our speed words that pupils need to practice to develop automaticity, the paired fluency read passages that they practice, the explicit vocabulary instruction of Tier 2 words from the text, summarising activities, and teacher modelling activities, which we call metacognitive models, where the teacher models excellent reading and the thought processes within that for the pupils. Comprehension questions are baked into the lessons, and then we also have lesson guides with detailed breakdowns of each lesson for the teacher to follow, and all of the assessments that we mentioned earlier. So you can see there's a plethora of teaching resources for grammar lessons, writing lessons, and for reading lessons, all following our mastery approach. So then the final strand is that kind of a green strand, opportunities for collaboration. So when you join us, you join a subject teaching network, fostering the exchange of best practices. And teachers and leaders can connect at in-person CPD events. So let's just have a little look at what those are. So the first CPD in-person event is the induction training, and then we also run the live CPD sessions as well, such as the Termly Preparing to Teach webinars. For teachers and also the Termly program leadership modules for English leads to foster that network, collaborate with other schools, and to grow those relationships. Your subject expert can also connect you with local schools or similar context schools, so you can gain insights on delivery or simply see English mastery in action in other settings. And then we also host an exclusive annual conference to facilitate sharing and learning between all of our partner schools. And we offer access to new research and new thinking with exciting keynote speakers. So this year for the primary conference, our keynote speaker was John Hutchinson, sorry. And we also run really practical workshops to leave you feeling reinvigorated, re-energized, and ready to continue making a real difference to your pupils' achievement and progress. Okay, so that was a bit of a whistle-stop tour. Sorry there was so much of me speaking there, but I hope that gave you lots of information. And if you're interested in joining or want to find out more, you can email us at the address on the screen or book a call using the QR code. There's our website address, and on our website we have a brochure, a program preview, case studies, lots of different things available. I'll pass you back to Kate now, but just a big thank you from me. It was great to spend this time with you all. Thanks, Kate.
Thanks, Sarah. That was great. Also, just want to say thank you, everybody, for attending.